Hey, what's up, guys? This is Coach International Master Joel Banao at your service. This is the fourth series now. Sorry if we were in a little bit of a hold. It's been a super crazy week, and I'm excited to have a continuation. And today we're going to go a little bit offbeat from our series, and we're not going to talk about the openings right now. Today we're going to have a special guest who managed to apply several of the concepts that we talk about in our four previous classes. Okay, this is assistant coach Stewart Banawa in the house. So Stewart, I asked Stewart to watch some of my videos, three of the videos earlier this morning, and he was so surprised that what, you're right. If I just applied this four principle of opening play, that's everything's gonna turn out right or turn out well. If you don't know what to do, if you've never seen the openings are one of the most fun things that you could study in in chess in general. But if you don't know what to do, you just follow these four steps. And on top of that, he managed to apply several of the patterns that was shown into the video. Let me just fix this really quick before we proceed, and we're gonna ask our superstar here in Stewart. So, fellas, for our basic players and our developing players, if you guys are just learning how to play chess right now, I think this is a perfect opportunity for you to pick up a thing or two. So let's get started. So, Stewart um, had the white pieces against a 900 rated player. Okay, and he played the move e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6. So both parties are controlling the center with pawns first, and now they're following one of the principles and also part of our video to develop the knight to f3 to rapidly develop and also to control the center. So this is a super move. Anytime you guys are able to apply or combine two of the concepts or principles of those four principles that is written below, then it is a super chess move, all right? Super move in the opening play. So Stewart now places his bishop to c4, knowing well that the f7 square is one of the weakest spots in the position. And all of a sudden, his opponent played something that we haven't really talked about in the videos just yet. His opponent played knight f6. And so he was wondering, and he was thinking, what were you thinking at the time? Go ahead.
I was thinking like, what? I know his threat already. I know his threat is attacking my e4 pawn. So I just think I'll just move I just move knight to c3, just defending.
And what else does the move knight c3 do?
It defends,
Guys?
and it develops rapidly.
Very good. So you're controlling the center, you're playing against your opponent's idea, and you're rapidly developing. That's a super well done. And now, however, in the first video, actually, we briefly looked at it, but I guess you were, it's just like very brief. I haven't really talked about it. The move that I'm going to recommend here is the move knight c5. In this game, Stewart played knight c3 instead, which is still fine, friends, if you guys are just following one of the four principles. If you're combining or you're able to do two or more of those following things on the bottom, then you're making a super move. Now the opponent played bishop e7, and after bishop e7, the opponent is also following the principle. He's trying to castle, put his king to safety, which is number 3, and also at the same time, the bishop has a little bit of influence. So I don't think this is a good square for the bishop. You don't want to put your bishop here. It's super cramped. If you're going to place your bishop somewhere, it has to be on c5. This is the best square because you have influence over the center. You're developing, and it prepares you into, or allows you to castle next move, put your king to safety. So bishop e7, I'm not a big fan of. And now Stewart played the move d3. What's your idea, Stewart? Why did you play?
My idea is to develop my bishop.
To open up the bishop so you can get it out.
Yeah, open up the bishop and developing it.
All right, very nice. And also you're controlling the center, you're defending it. Black now castles. And after castles, you castle. Now both kings are safe. And then your opponent violated one of the principles of opening play. And friends, I just want to emphasize out there, now if we talk about openings, it means that when it's still the opening phase until your rooks are connected. That means after you develop all your pieces towards the center, as long as the rooks are still not connected, you're still in the opening phase of the game. So one principle that we want to do in the opening or follow in the opening that's not written below. Some of the do's and don'ts is that you don't want to move a piece twice in the opening until you are out of the opening. And now he's moving the knight twice from g8 to f6 and now to g4, and he's wasting time. Okay, and also at the same time, putting the knight here is not really a good square because it's not stable. First off, white can simply attack it. And that's exactly what Stewart did. Stewart thought, you know what, I get to take the knight now. And if you move your knight back, basically you've wasted time. You've wasted time going back and forth, and white can continue. What were you going to do if you had moved back to f6?
Develop.
To develop where?
Develop my bishop to e3.
Very nice. So bishop e3 is a good move. Bishop g5 is a good move. But when you put the bishop on e3, you're developing, you're controlling the center. You're putting a bishop in a pretty powerful position. Unfortunately for the opponent, he played knight h6. In one of our videos, I believe in the first video, whenever the knight goes there in your castle, a good idea is to
take it.
take it. And what happens is you can think of this part of the board as your opponent's castle. And the moment you take here, he's down 3 points now. And if he recaptures, it seems like now, what happened to his castle?
Now his castle is undefended.
Well, it's still defended, but now it's wide open. It's like imagine in a war where two armies are fighting, and all of a sudden a big rock hit the wall of the castle, leaving it open and vulnerable. Okay, and so now you did d4. I really like that move because now you're actually attacking in the center. And I can't emphasize this enough, friends. When you are attacking in the center, it means that, or you have more space in the center, it means that you will have a lot of active pieces and important squares that you're controlling. After you play d4, now Stewart's planning to take on e5. You're attacking that twice, and this is only defended once. Black takes on d4. Okay, that d4 pawn is guarded twice, and it's only attacked once, so we are more than fine. And see, compare white's pieces to black's pieces. Black's pieces are absolutely limited. White's on the other end, we have so many good squares because we have center control. There's a major difference between a force that doesn't have a lot of space and center control versus a force that has a lot of center control. Your pieces could easily get from one side to another in attack. And on top of that, because of the violations that Black did in the opening, now he is in a lot of trouble. The opponent took. Now the queen is so fierce from the middle of the board. It's controlling the whole board. The opponent played bishop f6. Still, instead of like developing and getting his king to safety, he's moving the same piece over and over and over. And what did you do? You played queen e3. Not bad. You saw that now the castle king is wide open, so you're targeting the pawn on h6. You want to bring your pieces. You want to bring, basically, if your opponent's king's castle, you see if this was a war, and you see that your opponent's king was wide open, there's an opening in this castle, you want to bring all your pieces, all your soldiers to this side of the board. You want to bring in and make them point towards that side of the board. Maybe the rooks. That's what you want to do, fellas. So if I was white, however, I probably would have just pushed my pawn to e5, cramping him up and developing him some more, creating this nice little square for the knight to go to f6, and opening up this diagonal for the bishop. This would have been nice.
Actually, I did that earlier. Before that happened, I actually did that earlier.
Oh, you were gonna do that? That's
yeah,
what you
I
mean.
was gonna do that.
All right, but you decided to play queen e3. Not bad. You're threatening this pawn now. And now bishop g5 was played, and Stewart played queen g3, creating what you call a pin tactic or a strategy, where the bishop can't move because if he moves it, it's illegal. There is a more important piece behind the bishop, and therefore, what do we want to do usually if there's a pin? What do you usually want to do if there's a pin, Stewart?
Attack the bishop.
Okay, you want to put more pressure, as what we usually call PP on PP. You want to put more pressure towards this pin piece. Okay, and the opponent played queen f6, not really threatening anything at the moment, and e5 is finally what you played, but actually f4 is now an interesting move putting more pressure towards this bishop. But I guess that you found, or maybe you saw that I am pinning that bishop on g5 right now, but my opponent has a counterattack, forking my king and my bishop. Whenever you push that f pawn, fellas, you got to be careful that your king might be in some sort of attack. And now there's queen d4 check. That's going to be a big problem. Instead of winning that bishop full, he's going to be able to, if once he moves this guy, he takes a bishop, we take on g5. This is still not a bad position. His king is still wide open. We could still throw all our pieces to this side of the board. So, open castle. Okay, let's move back. Let's see what happened in the game. Stewart decided not to trade. If you guys are attacking, you want to keep as many soldiers as possible. It becomes easier to go after your opponent's pieces. And now after queen f5, he brings the bishop now to pinpoint this bishop to add additional pressure towards the side where the king is wide open. Queen e6. And now again, f4 would have been a good move. But Stewart decided to just bring another piece into the attack. This is not bad. Putting more pressure, you're attacking these 2 times. Although f4 would have been nice. And perhaps follow it up with pawns. And all your pieces are just working together. All your pieces are just working together. The pawn, the knight, the bishop, the queen. You could even bring your rook into the game. This is what you guys want to do if you guys are attacking an open king. And after this move, let's pause the video for a second and see if you guys could find the best move for white here. Black resigned in this position after Stewart's next move. Pause it for 5 seconds. Let's see if you guys could find a tactic. It's called a discover check, where if you move a certain piece and this next move makes a check, and whatever's behind that piece, it's actually attacking something very valuable. Let's see if you guys could find it. Here's your discover check now. All right, pause it for 5 seconds, and when you guys are ready, you could unpause it. Okay, if you said that the move is, what's the move, Stewart?
Actually, I moved a different piece and I just saw it. Knight to f6.
Very good. That would have finished off the game much quicker. And I think the opponent was expecting this and just decided to resign. This would have been a lovely trick, making your opponent think that you're just attacking the king right now. But in reality, the real target is the moment this king moves out of the way, this bishop on d3 will capture the queen on f5. And the game is over. The opponent was losing the queen. He's down by a lot of points, and on top of that, he is almost getting checkmated. And therefore, black decided to resign. Here, Stewart actually played knight takes g5. The opponent was thinking that, you know what, after he takes there, now you're attacking my queen, and also I lost a bishop. He decided to somewhat resign. In reality, black would have just taken on g5, and white still has a very good position. He still has a wide open king, and we should probably avoid going for queen trades and try to bring the rooks into the game afterwards, or go for f4, f5. But the opponent resigned, and what a wonderful game. And is there anything that you want to say to our audiences?
I know I made one mistake. I should have moved my knight to f6, a better move. But I didn't saw it in the first move. I just go forward, by the way. I didn't think about the 4 steps. I just go forward. I just take.
Okay, so what you're saying is that you could have gone, if you look for more options, then, so your tip to our viewers is to look for all your possibilities. Then you could have found that if you had looked for more options.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that lesson. And please, if you like this video and you found this very educational and helpful, or you guys just want to support us, make sure that you guys share this on Facebook or subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right. Thanks for watching.